Hey, I'm Christopher.
I'm Brian.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Tom.
And we're the Ataris, and you're watching Imagine TV Network. I was really blessed to have a father who had a really good record collection. You know, my parents were kind of like, you know, hippies of the 60s, so they had, you know, the Beatles, the Stones, the Who, you know, all of the like good classic rock albums. And through them, I discovered music, and ever since I was a little boy, they always kind of nurtured that. They bought me a guitar and a drum set when I was 5 years old. And from there, I just, you know, that's how my love for music started. As far as the band, I think I started professionally playing music when I was maybe, you know, 19 years old, and I've been doing this band, the Ataris, ever since. I started it in roughly 1996, and yeah, we've been going ever since.
Yeah, Rod Stewart. That's what made it.
Really?
Rod Stewart. Yeah.
Rod Stewart?
No, that song that you hate when I sing.
Oh.
What shit? Oot. What song is it? You like that?
What was it?
It's that Rod Stewart song I was singing.
Rod Stewart made you start playing music. Not like even good Rod, not like 70s Small Faces Rod Stewart, like white soul singer Rod Stewart.
Yeah. What's that song that I always sing to you and you get mad?
Have I told you lately? Really? Are you serious? I hate you.
That and the Black Album.
By Metallica? Like when Metallica got bad.
Yeah.
Not like even Justice or Master of Puppets or Ride the Lightning. I still love you, Brian.
I lived in the middle of nowhere in Indiana. At least you lived in a city.
My city sucked though.
I lived in the country. You've been there.
What about you, Eric?
It was Dave Grohl from Nirvana. The beat in the song "Sentenless Apprentice."
Yeah, the first song on In Utero. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what really did it. You know, and kind of his style, heavy hitting and stuff, and also, you know, once I learned how to play drums, I learned how to read music, and then it was John Bonham, Led Zeppelin. So really, you know, those are my two biggest influences.
Very nice, very nice. What about Tom?
Mine was pretty simple. My dad played guitar, and I always listened to him playing, and I thought, well, I could do that. So I started playing that way, and then I got into a bunch of different bands, and it just kind of went from there.
It just came naturally. I write right-handed, and I play guitar left-handed because, okay, look at it this way. Are you all right-handed? I'm looking at camera people. If you out there, you don't know. I write right-handed, so it made sense to do my chords with my hand because this is my most, you know, most used hand. Where this is, you know, the rhythm of the guitar. So it just felt natural. I would just pick up a normal right-handed guitar, flip it over. I don't restring it because like Jimi Hendrix restring it. Everybody thinks that's how I play, but I don't. I just take a right-handed guitar, flip it over, and play. And so the thick E string, the big string is on the bottom. But it just felt natural. Like I can't, still to this day, I can't play a guitar restrung the other way. I can't play a guitar with this hand, and it just felt normal. As stupid as it is, and you know, it's really hard at first to show people songs. Like when they joined the band, I think it took them some getting used to, I'd imagine, right? I mean,
yeah, I can follow now, but it was bad at first.
But you, was it really?
Well, yeah. Once Brian sat me down and explained, like, just remember to look at the opposite side of his hand because that's where I'm usually playing.
Right. So yeah, it just came natural. I think just going back to my parents always encouraging me to follow my heart, and for me, you know, the only thing I really ever felt really attracted to or drawn to and felt like was natural to me was music. Ever since I was a little kid, I remember sitting in my room, you know, listening to music and feeling some sort of, you know, relating to it. And you know, when I grew up as a teenager, you know, when you wanted to escape from all of the troubles of high school or you know, heartbreak or loneliness or whatever, you'd go home, you'd put on a record, and that would be your release. So yeah, that for me is probably the one thing, you know, and to me, it's an outlet for my inspirations. When I write a song, when I try to tell a story, you know, to sit down and write a journal and keep thoughts is one part of it, but to actually put it into music and share those things, share those deep, harsh truths of your life is probably even more important part of the process.
It all goes back to Rod Stewart. I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to play because I thought Rod Stewart was awesome. And the Black Album. Just wanted to rock.
Kind of similar, yeah, right.
Basically, growing up in Massachusetts is a huge punk rock and hardcore scene, so from the age of about 10, I was going to shows and seeing local bands and stuff, and really I never expected to be playing music professionally, but I just started playing music and kept with it, and it's brought me here to Singapore on the other side of the world.
I think that's one thing too, before going to Tom, that when you start playing music, you never say I'm gonna go and be a professional musician. I never wanted that. All I wanted to do was have an outlet for my songs and be creative. And I think most bands would say that. Like, I don't think you wake up and be like, I want to be a rock star, because like that's never been my goal. My goal is always to be a musician, and to be a rock star is like the opposite of my goal. I think that whole thing of like, you know, the guy on the stage is unattainable and you can't talk to him, and you know, he plays a show, runs backstage, and you never see him again. That I think is kind of dead. You know, with social networking like Facebook and Twitter, now, you know, we answer all of our fans personally on Facebook and Twitter, and you know, we really try to tear down those barriers. But on the bad side of that, it's gave the fans a sort of entitlement, like you owe them something, especially in the United States. Like sometimes they're like, hey, you didn't play a certain song, well, I hate you guys. Or, you know, it's like, what kind of bullshit is that? I mean, seriously, like you are a human that's playing songs, and you know, I'm here for us and for our fans, but there's a fine line where, you know, that people kind of cross now because they think you owe them something, I guess. But anyway, so Tom.
Well, I'd have to say I grew up in kind of a small town, and there's shows pretty much every weekend, and a friend of mine's band called Hour of the Wolf played a lot, pretty much every weekend. And going to see those guys play, I remember watching them and being like, I want to do that so bad. So I ended up getting to play in bands and playing shows, and then I just, that's all I wanted to do, was just keep playing shows, and I don't know.
Kind of took off from there. Yeah. Same, yeah, there were some good local bands in my town, and that was another big thing. Like when you'd go and I'd go to shows, and that was all I loved to do, and you'd see these artists, and you'd be like, I'd really love to be doing that, because it feels familiar, and it's like, it almost felt like your destiny, you know?